What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cherokee. Thanks for tuning into my last video. Thank you. I hope you guys, you enjoyed it because I like giving you guys content. And please like, and comment what you guys want me to do videos on. But this video specifically, I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm doing story time. I'm doing story time about just what happened in earlier in my relationship because I'm still in this relationship. So basically, my boyfriend's grandmother was crazy. Like when I first met him, I was 17. And I went over to his house. First he was coming over to my house. Then I started going over to his house. I stopped, I moved out when I was 17. So I'm going to give y'all a story about how I moved out when I was 17. Why was I acting all crazy, because I was a very unruly child, and I just don't understand why everybody called me unruly and why I wanted to grow up so fast. But at the end of the day, it made me who I am today. So at the end of the day, his grandmother, I think she saw through me. She saw my stuff I was going through, and it scared me. Like, I'm just like, what's wrong with this girl? So she seen that I was probably like a fast little girl. I was 17. I'm out the house at my little boyfriend's house every night and barely making it to school in the morning because we barely wake up on time. But she took that and ran with it. So she wanted to talk to my grandfather. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I told you I'm not messing with him no more. And this is actually after I turned 18. I was 17 turning 18. So once I finally started spending the night every night, I was 18, but I was still in school. So she was like, oh, let me talk to your grandfather and make sure it's okay that you can spend the night over here. And I'm like, what? Okay, well, okay. Okay. I'll deal with it. So she talked to my granddad. She was like, she fast, I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? What's wrong with this lady? What's wrong with her? Why does she want to talk to my granddad anyways? When I told you the situation, like, I left his house for a reason. Why would you want to talk to him? So it sucked being in that situation. And she was like, oh, you can spend the night over here one more time, but you can't spend the night no more. Like, okay, like, that's corny. So I end up stopping spending the night over there. I end up going to my friend's house and staying over there until I end up like making an arrangement to where like I got my first place with my dad. So it sucked. Like, it really sucked because at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I want to be with my boyfriend. He didn't even want to be at my friend's house because my friend, she just had so much going on at her house. She got so many family members, so many little boyfriends. So he didn't like it over there. So I just had to tell myself, okay, I'm in school, I'm working, I'm trying to get a car. Once I get that car and I get into my own place, we're going to be together. So let me just not rush it. So I didn't rush it. I was still doing my own little thing. And, we ended up moving in together. So, basically, his grandmother, like, ended up start calling me. Once we moved in together, she started calling me because she couldn't reach him. And she was just talking stuff all the time. And then one time she called me, and I was in the wrong mood. I was like, no, I'm not having it, lady. I'm not having it. She like, why is his phone off? Why is his phone off? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he don't want to talk to you. Because I'm like, who just have money in their pocket, work hard, have money in their pocket, and let their phone be off? Probably because they don't want to talk to you. Probably because you're crazy. So I'm like, I don't know. You ask him. Whatever. Like, I don't know. So she ended up going off on me. I called her the B word. And it slipped out. She's about 50 to 60 years old. It slipped out. I was wrong for that. So I tried to apologize. She never forgave me. Never forgave me to this day. After that, I end up going to, me and my dude, we end up falling out one day. Just arguing. He was like, all right, I'm about to go to my grandma's house and wash the clothes. He take all my clothes over there. I'm like, give me my clothes. Like, so I go over there, get my clothes, because he's taking forever. So, go over there, get my clothes. She come out like, where's my money? I'm like, money for what? She like, money for my wash. You over here washing clothes. Where's my money? I go in my purse to give her some money, and I'm like, you know what? You being too petty for me. I'm like, hop away from my car. Get away from my car. Get away from my car. People point blank. I'm not doing nothing to you. Get the fuck away from my car. He come give me my stuff. I'm not even in this lady's driveway. I'm on the street. So at the end of the day, you coming up to my car, talking stuff to me like you ready to fight. She's like, get out the car. Get out the car. Get out the car. I'm ready to fight. She's like, I'm ready to fight. I'm like, I'm like, So I got my police baton. I'm like, girl, get away from my car, because if you swing on my car, I'm going to swing on you with this police baton. I don't care. So she go run in the house. She's like a linebacker in the house. I'm telling you, this lady was big, and she was ready to fight me. Like, at the end of the day, what are you trying to fight me for? At the end of the day, I didn't do nothing to you. Nothing to you. She going to bring up that I call her a bitch. And this is like 2-3 months later. And after I apologized, I'm like, oh, yeah, she would never let go of that hurt. Like, she's an ex-heroin addict, for one. So she come outside with that bat. So she's like, oh, I'm about to swing on you. This is that. Get out the car. Get out the car. I'm like, oh, she want to hit each other with she want to hit me with the bat. She want to hit her with the police baton, period. So I'm just like, okay, all right. So I put out my tool, my gun. I'm like, get away from my car. And I called my dad. My dad is on the phone. He like, girl, don't do that. Don't put out your gun on that lady. Leave. Leave her house. Leave her house. So I left. Now, she calls the police on me and said that I was threatening her. I was trying to beat her up. I put our gun out on her. The gun was pink. I don't even have a pink gun. So I'm like, okay, this bitch didn't even see the gun. You didn't even see the gun. So for when you were over here lying, like you seen the gun, you just was trying to fight me. Like, period, point blank. I was trying to do anything so you can get away from my car so I can get my clothes and leave. And my boyfriend was just standing in the back watching. So I had to tell myself, you know, just because of his upbringing, and this person actually played a part in raising him, you know, like, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. At the end of the day, it doesn't give people an excuse to act wrong towards people, but it's not his fault. So I'm like, you're going to have to get into counseling. You're going to have to do things so you can, you know, get away from how this lady has treated you over years and how she has treated your exes. Because she told me from the beginning, her and his ex was about to fight. It's only ex. So at the end of the day, it's like, why are you always so aggressive to people and who they're in a relationship with? And it's like, we just have to be okay with it and respect it. And I had to realize that. So I don't say anything. So anyways, getting back to how she called the police on me. She called the police and said I threatened her. I went to jail for that. I had a warrant on my place. They pulled me over. She didn't even let me know. She didn't let her grandson know. Even though they was talking after the situation, she didn't let them know. We was both in the car. They put us over. The gun was in the car. The gun was in the car. The gun was in the car. So we both go to jail. So lady, it's your fault now. It's your fault because you didn't let your grandson know what was going on. He riding in the car with me. And now we both go to jail. Because of you. So at the end of the day, it all tied down to me having a warrant on my plate. And we had the gun in the car. We wouldn't have been driving around with the gun. 3 months later, I get pulled over. That's how long it took for me to get pulled over and go to jail for this. Then, after that, like in court, she trying to prove points and Yiddy got out with the judge. I'm just like, this is crazy. I'm like, this lady is an ex-heroin addict. She's always trying to fight her family members. She got a whole rap sheet of a record. And she's trying to keep throwing me in jail for no reason. So again, she tried to do it again. And I didn't let her. I stayed away from her the last couple times, period. Like, I just said, you know what, I'm cool. So I told him, like, you have to let her go. If you I'm not going to say you have to let her go, but you have to realize that some people are negative energy in your life, and you can't hold on to that. I let my aunt go. I let my father go at a certain extent, just because it's like, I can't let negative energy in. You know, you can't let that negative energy in. As much as you love somebody, you can call them, check up on them. Do not let them control your reaction, control how you deal with your friends and your peers. Don't let them control you, period. Because some people are miserable. So that's my thing today, is just to say, like, some people are miserable. Some people will try to, assassinate your character even before you even have a character, even before you even found yourself as a person. And they're trying to tell you who you are. And don't let nobody do that, period. Tell yourself you are the more loved one. And at the end of the day, it's the reason why people love you. At the end of the day, it's the reason why people love me. It's the reason why this man has stayed by me for 6 years. So at the end of the day, it's not my fault. You can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me, and I'm not going to disrespect you. I messed up one time by disrespecting her. So, at the end of the day, I feel like this lady tried to kill me. If she could have, she would have. So that's why, I just stay away from her. Stay away from her, because she will land somebody in either the ground or in jail. And that's the reason why her husband left her, period. And he got another boo. So at the end of the day, certain stuff happens for a reason. Some people are miserable and lonely for a reason, period, y'all. So at the end of the day, if y'all haven't already, please subscribe, or you're gonna miss my next story time. You're gonna miss it. So please subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Deuces, Cherokee out.